Alright, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I think Twitch is just a little bit borked with the bitrate, so we're hoping this is fine. But welcome back, everyone, and also thank you for the resubs, Starry Sky and Savardi. I much appreciate it. Very much thank you guys. And let's not go in the den right now. We do need to sleep. Oh my goodness, sorry if I sound a little bit frazzled. It's been a bit of a day. You know when you have a project and you're like, this is not gonna be a long project, it'll be short, it'll be easy, I'm gonna devote a little bit of time to this, and then it suddenly something starts to happen, and that project starts to grow. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then suddenly you realize you have created a monster. That's been my life for the past month. If you guys have, it's finally out now. If you saw last Saturday, I finally put out an episode on modded Minecraft, which has been my big secret in the works project that has involved me creating a whole mod that was completely an original one. So yeah, there was that, there was balancing out the whole pack, and I was like, oh, this'll just be a small project, it's not a big thing, and I was lying to myself. It's been a ride, but I'm very glad that I did it. I don't regret it, and I'm excited because it's finally almost up. I'm waiting for CurseForge to approve it now. So if that happens, it'll be going up on the Plus channel soon. You'll have the link there. I'll probably share it in the supporter Discord as well. But, oh, and Typhoon is heading off, I think, possibly. I'm gonna let these guys eat a little bit, and then we'll send them back in the den. But yeah, so that's what's been consuming my life lately. You did not think about how much goes into a mod pack until you're trying to put one together, and then suddenly it's like, oh my goodness, all of the things you have to adjust to make sure everything plays nice with each other and is balanced, and all these inter-mod interactions that you wouldn't have thought of, and oh my gosh, there's a lot to figure out. Let's go catch up with Typhoon. But yeah, sorry for being late again. I was finishing that off. I hope I've gotten the bulk of it done and can now just focus on the series part of it, which I'm really excited for, because goodness, it's not that it hasn't been fun to put it together, but it has been so much work. Goodness gracious. Oh yeah, homework also has a way of growing. Did you want that, Typhoon? I guess not. I guess we'll eat this. Ooh, the prediction is up. And yes, indeed, the first episode is up on the Plus channel. I'm super excited about it. Like, I've talked about... Oh, that's a coyote. Never mind. Get out of my territory. Fitting storm for the Storm Chasers pack, too. But yeah, I'm excited for it. We talked a lot about storytelling, and this one is one that I'm very excited for, because it's going to afford some unique opportunities, I think. And I'm really looking forward to delving into the lore more, because I've got some things planned. I think we all do. And I'm very excited to see where it goes. No, I'm sorry Twitch is being mean to you. Twitch, why do you do these things? Don't do that. Don't bully people, Twitch. Oh, dang. I'm very sorry about the camper. That's not good. That's not a good thing. I can imagine that would be quite a thing to have to deal with. Yes, we got some thunder happening in the game. Ooh, that's good. That's good, Forrest. I'm glad you're having a little bit more time. Where are the elk herds? I mean, there's a bull elk herd, but that's not something we're going to actually hunt from. Also, Twitch is doing a thing this last week, because it's the last week of September, and apparently we've got one last surprise for that, is that gift subs now are discounted as well. So if anybody wants the chance to gift sub somebody else, those are a little bit cheaper than normal. It's a good time to do it. So one last September surprise, if I can use my words, before the sub prices go back up to normal. Unless you're using a Prime sub, which of course is free with Amazon Prime and will remain such for the foreseeable future, I think. Alright. Oh man, yeah, no kidding. The cost of living nowadays has gone up quite a lot. Like that's, man, I feel like that's kind of the mark of adulthood is like looking at housing prices and going, oh my gosh. But I hope you'll be able to find something soon because it's not easy, that's for sure. Things are not cheap nowadays, especially depending on where you're located. What if you'll ever add hurricanes to WolfQuest? Oh yeah, if you guys are in the path of the hurricane, be safe. Get out if you need to. I'm praying that that doesn't end up being a horrible ordeal because, yeah, that's a thing that's occurring. I don't know if they'll ever add them to WolfQuest though, because WolfQuest is in Yellowstone, and Yellowstone is very, very inland, so it doesn't really, I don't think, see too many hurricanes. By the time anything that once was a hurricane would get to Yellowstone, it's probably pretty dissipated, except of course for our hurricane here. But yeah, I don't think the actual storms make it all the way to Yellowstone usually. I think they tend to be more coastal. Although apparently California got like the fallout of I think they call them typhoons in that. Is it typhoons in the Pacific? I think it's typhoons in the Pacific. We have very fittingly named wolves. You know what? This is a weak enough elk. But yeah, usually the storms themselves stay more coastal, and by the time they get more inland, it just brings some additional heavy rains, perhaps. Alright. Where do we go? I'm going to focus on the hunting for a minute so that I don't die while trying to read chat, so pardon me. I see there are comments to respond to. I'm going to try to bring down this elk so that we don't have to worry about it. Oops. Gotta watch out to not get kicked there. Can we have an Evie emoji? That's something that's planned. I just have to actually get it drawn. I want to add some more emojis because we don't have anything for Hurricane and Typhoon either, and we don't have we don't have emojis for all of our wolves either. I'd like to do one for Pixis. It would be, well, we have a Koji emoji actually. Yes, we do. I'd like to do a still one for Puma because right now her only one is animated. So there's a few other emojis that I'd like to add, and considering the number of times that Evie has barged in yelling, that we do need an Evie scream emoji. Yeah. All right. Yes, the prediction style is... I am glad that they added more options to it. Did you get to eat all the food? You did. Okay, let's head back. Oh boy, yeah, I'm hoping it'll calm down by the time that it makes landfall, because big storms like that can be kind of scary for sure. Okay. Oh yeah, it's been a bit since, well, it's been a bit since I've heard of big hurricanes in the Gulf a few years ago. I think I don't think we've had too many major hurricanes for the past few years, have we? Or maybe I just don't see the news very often. That could be it as well. Oh, where's our den? Where's my house? Where'd I park the car? Here we are. Let's see. Speaking of emojis, what color is she? Evie is a gray kitty. I have no idea what breed. She was a stray, so I don't know any of her history or any of that. Apparently they make DNA tests for animals, though. I learned that this was a thing recently. I don't know what the accuracy of them is, but yeah, she is a pure gray kitty with green eyes. So kind of kind of a standard kitty, but very, very round. She has a very huggable shape. She's a very soft and round kitty, and right now she's sleeping on my bed again, I think. It is getting cool enough that she has decided she likes blankets again and no longer wants to just lay on the floor. Yes, we have glitchy Puma. Puma and her hecked up glitch jeans. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Prime subs are free if you already have Amazon Prime. So if you're already paying for Amazon Prime, you get one free sub to one person per month on Twitch. And the streamer still gets a portion of that sub. It's not, it doesn't skip over the streamer getting the rewards of it. It's just you don't have to pay for it if you're already paying for Amazon Prime because they're partnered. Yo, speaking of, thank you, Forrest. Oh my goodness, thank you for the sub gift. And congratulations, Sakura, who has gotten the gifted sub there. Yo! We're actually getting close to making me play on Accurate again. Oh my goodness, it's been a little bit since that's happened. We did do it in the last community event. Okay. Hey, back in the den, back in the den, back in the den, back in the den. Not about this. Not about this. I think there's only one. Cloudburst, could you not? Now's not a great time for this. Now's not a good time for this. Back in the den, please. No, you don't. No, you don't. Prospect Peak. What are you doing? This is my den. You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here. Get out. Did all my puppies go in the den? They all went in the den. Oh, I wish I had more stamina. Really wish I had more stamina right about now. Oh, are you still thinking you're about to bite me? Because that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. I'm the one who does the biting around here. You better get out. You better go. All right. Oh my goodness. Aw, well, thank you. Thank you, Forrest. I really very much appreciate it. And I just want to say, like, thank y'all to the community. You guys have been absolutely incredible these past few weeks. I am honestly, I mean, you guys are always awesome, but I've honestly been blown away by how kind people have been. I mentioned it on YouTube recently. There's going to be an official video about it a little bit. Hopefully tomorrow we'll see, if you're watching this on Twitch. About more the different ways of support and what's available, because I was first of all surprised by just how much people didn't even know certain things were a thing, because I don't talk about it. I guess maybe I shouldn't have been surprised. But I did mention on YouTube that the financial situation's been a little bit tight, and holy cow, you guys, I have been absolutely floored by the amount that people have been willing to help out, and yeah, you guys are amazing. I honestly did not expect the kind of support that I've gotten, and it's been really encouraging, because sometimes this stuff gets very uncertain and it can be a little scary. Adulthood can be a little scary at times when you don't know how things are going to go down. So I really appreciate it, whether it's been helping out to support financially or spreading the word. Just thank you guys for doing what you do and being awesome, because everybody's been super supportive. And even just the fact that people have had an overall positive responses. Like, I've always been a little scared to talk about the finances because I don't want to be that person who's always promoting. And like, I get that that can be annoying, and it's the constant fine line that you walk as a creative. So I'm very thankful you guys have been so understanding of that, especially in a time when I've had to worry a little bit more about making sure that this is going to stay viable. So thank you guys. Is this an open den or wooded den? I think it's an open den. Aha, snack time. I'm pretty sure it's an open den. It looks like an open den to me. The child is running away. Yes, yes, they do that. Aw, thank you guys. Yeah, you guys have all been very, very kind. Oh. You ignore me, I'm gonna write Emily's favorite anyway, though. No. Goodness gracious. Aw, well, thank you. And again, like, too, I've said this, I try to say this every time that I talk about this. Please don't feel obligated to do anything you're not able to. Believe me, I get it. If you're not in a situation where you can support financially, I would not ask that of you. I don't want anybody to push themselves to a point they shouldn't be for my sake. I have always strived with this to make support and everything that goes along with it be something extra on top of what I'm already doing. So I don't want to try to restrict any videos. I want any benefits gained from supporting to be additional on top of what I already do on the channel, because I don't want anybody to feel like they have to support just to be able to engage with my content. And I don't want anybody, you know, even if you want to, I appreciate everybody's desire to help, but I also don't want anybody to put themselves in a situation they shouldn't be in order to help. So yeah. Oh my goodness. Ooh, dark chocolate with raspberry filling sounds very, very good. Is our territory... It's not gone to heck just yet. Okay. Well, we can't regurgitate, though. Let me see. Ooh, Steam Deck seems fun. I don't know a whole lot about it. Okay, Typhoon is gonna want to go, I think. Alright, yeah, there's not enough food for everybody to eat right now. Well, I think it was Nexus who mentioned coyotes. It looks like you were right. Get out! Get out! Get out! Always go back to make sure that if there's a second coyote, it doesn't snatch the pups. Congratulations to everyone who said coyotes. You're right. These heckers are back. At least one of them. Oh, no, you don't. You get out. You go. You're lucky I'm letting you live. Alright. Yeah, it has been a bit since we've had an eagle attack, that's for sure. Did Typhoon already head out? Okay, he's already headed off. Let's go join him, see if we can find something to eat here. Oh, thank you guys. You guys are very, very kind. Alright. Whoop. There he is. Ran past him. What is this? Is this a snack? Oh, that's a Wilbur. No, Wilbur, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for biting your tail. I thought you were a bunny. Wait, I don't think this pack technically knows about Wilbur, but I still don't have it in me to go after him. That's always gonna be Wilbur to me now. I'm like, I just, I can't attack him. Typhoon said yeet. Yep, he I guess knew that Hurricane could handle one coyote. Oh my goodness. That one didn't even get time to close the mission. Yeah, it be that way sometimes. I think it was Pyrrha who had an eagle attack, like, immediately after a Stranger Wolf attack once, or something like that. Might have been the other way around. But she had one attack right after another. I was just like, oh, what's happening? Don't like this. We might need a Wilbur emoji. Ooh, that would be a good one. That would indeed be a good one. Alright. Should have a wolf named Wilbur in tribute for Wilbur. Perhaps someday we'll have to see. A lot of people suggest it for the Elements pack, and I haven't had a wolf who vibed right for it yet. But maybe at some point. A cheetah wolf named Wilbur. Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of the... Well, I guess maybe I shouldn't entirely say that, because even Tempest has had some reddish puppies, but most likely one of Pyrrha's pups, or maybe one of Blaze's pups. I think it gets suggested pretty much every year, so I would not be surprised if it happens at some point. I've just been waiting for the vibes to feel right. Cheetah wolf. Oh my goodness. Stats are always interesting when it comes to the wolves. I kind of... Well, now that we have pups that are generated based off of the game, I don't do this as much, but I kind of try to gear them towards Wolf's personality, or sometimes now more what I do is I can gear personality towards stats and what we observed as a pup. So, it kind of depends. I try to think about how do I want to play this wolf and then gear the stats accordingly. What are we gonna name a bear? Cougars? Well, they used to call the bear Bob in the WolfQuest community. It was just Bob the bear. I don't know if that's still a thing, but that was like the thing when I was growing up in the WolfQuest community. Everyone was like Bob the bear. So yeah, that very much used to be an old school WolfQuest thing. Do we pick the open den? I've missed the past 2 streams. I'm pretty sure it's open. I don't remember. I wish you could see it somehow, or maybe you can, and I just don't know how. Ooh, we got a storm brewing again. But I'm pretty sure it's open. It looks open to me. Yeah, Bob the Bear. Depends on what you want to hunt as well. That's a very good point, Starry. If you're hunting mule deer, you want to be faster. I would also say if you're hunting mule deer, you want good stamina is almost even more important than speed because it's hard to catch up to them. But if you catch up to them and you can't bite, that doesn't do you any good either. Beavers also do need good stamina. Name the cougars Kitty for the memes. Oh my goodness. Everybody's very sure there's going to be an eagle attack. Oh boy. Kind of hoping not, because I don't like the eagle attacks. They scare me. Oh my goodness. Oh, the cougar texture glitch where it was all pink. I remember that. I do remember that, I'm pretty sure. The Pink Panther is also a separate, that's like an actual property. I can't remember if we actually associated those things when it happened, but there was a glitch where the cougar had completely just the missing texture. We should have called it the Pink Panther if we didn't. Why did we call it that? And if not, why didn't we? Oh, okay, fleas time apparently. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I do very vaguely remember that now that you mention it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a thing. I can't remember if it was like a post-release thing or if it was just like the screenshots from testing that they had that. I think it was one that ended up happening later on and actually appeared randomly in like actual people's games. As happens from time to time, bugs slip through. You're not gonna ever get all of them perfectly. So... Ooh, a new challenge pack sounds very, very fun. Staying in water until the sleep meter goes to 0 seems incredibly difficult, though. Holy cow. I wish you luck with that, because that seems like an endeavor. Aw, no worries. I hope that goes well, though. That sounds very fun. Can we name the cougars? I think I might get in trouble for copyright if we started calling them the Pink Panthers. Oh my goodness. I don't know if we get in trouble for copyright, but... I don't know. Copyright law is one of those things that I just don't heck around with for the most part. I'm like, I get very... That's one of the things I'm more paranoid about on YouTube. That's actually why I think I have the least singing in any of my videos compared to any of the other IU members. Like, we sing a lot of things, but I don't always show it because I'm not 100% convinced that I'm not gonna get in trouble for it. I've heard of some sketchy things happening. So, but yeah. I don't think it's usually that strict. It's not something that I want to mess with. Yeah, better safe than sorry is very much my take on it. I don't mind if everybody else wants to do singing though. I also don't necessarily know a lot of pop culture songs though. Like I have very strange taste in music compared to what's popular. It doesn't usually coincide. I listen to a lot of very specific bands and not necessarily all super mainstream ones. Or I listen to very selective ones that have been in the mainstream, but it generally doesn't correlate with whether they're mainstream or not. I don't know, I just absorb music from wherever I encounter it and will decide, oh, I like this one particular song, I'm gonna listen to it for hours on end, and it doesn't matter if it's popular, it just matters if I've encountered it. Let's see. Yeah, you can make... The fact that a huge part of copyright is that you can maybe use copyright material under certain conditions that can only be proven legal in court is a huge thing you gotta be careful with. Yeah, that's what Rain has said, and that's why I'm pretty cautious about it as well. It's not something that I like playing around with. I don't think it's worth it most of the time. I don't know that we should go after that one that's a spike, even though it is a little weaker. Yeah, I get a lot of my music from various animatics and things that I've seen on the internet. I guess depending on, I don't know. I wish YouTube had a little bit of a better system for music, because that's one thing that I go back and forth on with animatics, because I would love to make some of them, but I do get scared of that as well, depending on, so that kind of, I wish there was like a, and it's hard because it's such an abstract system, but I wish there was a better way. Oh, this is a very weak elk. Okay, then. I guess maybe, do we still have one? I might have forgotten to mark the old carcass. Oh well, we got a new one now. I wish there was like a better system for figuring that out, though, because I think there are creators who are like, yeah, go for it, but I don't know if a lot of musicians even would know about that, or like, I guess I wish there was a way of like musicians being able to flag their music as, oh yeah, you can make an animatic out of this, and like, you know, if, I don't mind if the ad revenue gets monetized to the musician. It's just the fact that it's so obfuscated, I guess, that you don't entirely know, is what's kind of scary about it, about how unknown it is of whether or not you're gonna get in trouble for it. So that's one, I guess that's kind of my thing that I wish there was a better, clearer rule about it for that kind of thing, because it'd be nice, like, if a lot of people were willing to let their music be used for that kind of thing, but have a better way of making it clear that that is. I don't know. Let's see. Wow, time sure does fly. Goodness gracious. Oh, I have seen some Miracle of Sound stuff, actually. And yeah, I think there are creators on YouTube who have mentioned that. I think oh, who is it? There's a few that I know of that have said, yeah, you can use my music. I guess I just wish that, and like, that's difficult to vet too, because what if somebody makes something with your music that you don't consider representative of your brand or whatever? So like, it's complicated and nuanced, but I wish there was a better middle ground for creatives, because I have seen some people make some absolutely sick hecking animatics for stuff, but it's a very legally gray area at best. And I wish there was kind of a better way of doing it that didn't rely so much on being kind of sketchy by nature, I suppose. Let's see. I mostly, it's kind of, I don't know, I listen to a lot of, I don't think I listen to like one particular genre of music either. The bands I listen to most would be Owl City, who I guess, I don't know, do single creators count as bands? Because I say bands, but he's a person, he is one person. But Owl City's really cool. He's also the only celebrity that I follow unironically, because he doesn't act like a celebrity, and I love it. But also, Skillet has some good music. They got some real good heckin' music, and that's mostly the ones that I consistently listen to. I guess it's more like a pen name, artist name. I guess artists would be a better word for it than bands, probably. What settings do I play on? For difficulty, I generally play on challenging unless, for whatever reason, the challenge says otherwise. So, like, if you have an accurate challenge, or you guys meet the sub-goal or something. But I think I have my graphics up pretty much all the way, if not all the way. I keep them pretty high for YouTube recording. Yeah, Skillet is very good. Imagine Dragons has some good ones as well. I'm gonna get judged for this. I wasn't as big of a fan of their older stuff, and that might just be the fact that Radioactive got played in my household way too much, to the point where I could not stand it. Which is hilarious, because I have a high tolerance for looping music if I'm the one doing it, but if it's somebody else, I go insane very quickly. But I've heard some of their more recent stuff, and they've put out some cool songs lately. Yeah. And, like, I'm not saying that in an objective, their music is bad way. It's just kind of not my thing, I think. some of the style to it, but you know, it's obviously it was a lot of other people's things. So, yo, thank you for the gift sub, Savarity, and congratulations, Tony OD, on that. Oh my goodness, you guys are gonna make me play inaccurate next time. Now I'm gonna be scared. No, if you guys want to see it, I'm game for it. If you guys want me to play inaccurate, I will play on accurate. Oh yeah, I've heard some of hers as well. On Top of the World is a good song. I remember that from the, they played it in the Big Hero 6 trailer. Also, who's taking over this hex? And also, where did my mate go? Typhoon, let's go get food. Oh yeah, Fall Out Boy has some good ones. They're another one of the, I guess I'm like passingly aware of some bands that were mainstream, but I didn't encounter them because they were mainstream so much. Or, you know what, another weird place that I get my music from is movie trailers. Sometimes there's just a really good song that's in a movie trailer, and if it's a movie trailer I like, I'm like, ooh, I like the song. So that's my music taste is curated entirely by what pops up in other media, pretty much. Feels like. Goodness, yes. Yes, the Big Hero 6 movies, like, I was obsessed with that as a kid. I guess as a kid, I guess I was more of a teenager at that time. Yeah, I was a teenager by the time that one came out. I don't know. I feel old in that now I'm use childhood to broadly refer to anything under the age of 20. Which is so weird because when I was a teenager, it was like, oh, you know, I was a kid, now I'm a teenager, now I'm like, I was still a kid. Still a child. Still very much a child. And not that there's anything wrong with being a child, it's just different how... It's interesting how differently you quantify that as time passes since then. Oh my goodness. Ship in a Bottle, it's hilarious that you mentioned it, because that is... Holy crud, that's the song that I've had on loop lately. It slaps so freaking hard. And if I do an animatic at any point, that is one that I might want to do an animatic to, because I finally found, like, that song finally, you don't understand that finally fit some characters that I've been looking for a song for ages. But this is the problem of finding things through other animatics, is that I'm like, well, can I even do an animatic off this song because somebody else did it first and I don't want to copy them, but also the song slaps. I'm like, there's a downside to finding songs by primarily watching animatics. Let me just tell you, there is a downside. So, yes, I have corrupted so many of my friends in this song too. It is such a good song. It has so many vibes. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Or just ranting about music today, apparently. But, like, oh my goodness. No, I've, like, inseparably associated this with some of my tabletop characters now. And like, I very much now want to do something with that. Am I hearing... I think I'm just hearing things in game. Are you still in my bed? Yeah, the cat stole my bed. I'm just hearing things in game. Just had to make sure she's not getting into something. Oh my goodness. So I have talked a lot about how... Well, I don't know if I talked a lot here, but I'm always like, Evie doesn't like to play with toys by herself. She wants me to play with her, which is not normally a problem, but I would like her to get better at self-entertaining, because sometimes she wants to play while I'm in the middle of a YouTube video or something that I can't easily put down. So I wish she would get a little bit better about this. But it's also just... Inevitably, if I say that, she will then immediately pick up something. And so, like, I had just had this conversation with my parents of Evie doesn't like to play by herself usually. And that night, I heard her doing something. I was like, what are you doing? And I turn around, and she has taken a pair of my socks and is just batting them around the floor. Just kicking them around the floor. And she did this for, like, a good 15 minutes. I'm like, why do you prove me wrong every time? Every time, you never do this except when I talk about it, and then you immediately start finding something to entertain yourself with. Goodness. why you should get 2 cats. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that because I don't know if Evie really likes other cats or not. She doesn't react to smell. But, gosh, this is kind of a story. So my parents have a cat. They have a cat now. And it's kind of my fault. Because I think I can talk about this. Literally, so like, okay, so I moved this summer. And I had been living in an apartment in town, but because I had to ship all of my things cross-country, I moved back in with my parents for a little bit with Evie, which is fine. She had come to visit them many times, because we lived in the same town, so I'd bring her over when I went to go see my parents. So she was fine, that was all fine and good. But the thing is, the literal week before I left to move halfway across the country, this cat shows up in the yard. This is the second time this has happened to me, Evelyn being the first. This cat shows up in the yard. I'm like, okay, you know, it's probably just a neighborhood kitty, probably fine. But, you know, I want to go say hi, want to make friends, because it's a cat. And so I go out there, and this poor cat runs away at first. Oh, I don't actually want to send him in the den yet. What am I doing? Poor cat runs away at first, but finally I coax him over, immediately realize, oh no, this is not someone's cat. He is definitely a stray, doesn't seem to be taken care of. Oh no, what am I gonna do? I'm leaving. I can't adopt another cat. Also, Evie doesn't like this cat. Evie is hissing at him through the front door. Long story short, a few months down the line, this is now my parents' cat. And he's amazing. I love him. He's such a sweet little boy. He's also an incredibly smart cat who recognized Evie through the phone, we're pretty sure, because he was very interested when she was on our video call. Evie doesn't care. Evie doesn't notice anything going on the phone. But Evie doesn't really like my parents' cat, I don't think. Are they all full on food? They are. So, I don't know. I'm not sure how she'd feel about another cat, or if it's just him in particular that she wasn't vibing with. So, oh my goodness. But yeah, somehow, I don't know how this happened, but I keep finding stray cats and resulting in me and other people around me getting another cat. This has happened twice. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen again, but at this point, who knows? But yeah, I'm very thankful that the story had a happy ending too. He seems like a really very good kitty, very sweet cat. And very, very cute as well. He is a tuxie. But yeah, it was an interesting time. It was a very interesting experience to have as I was preparing to move across the country. All right, can we feed them? We cannot feed them. All right, they're full on affinity right now. So let's, okay. There goes the entire territory. Yes, Typhoon. I think this is a good idea. Let us go. Just travel around the country using my powers, apparently latent superpowers, to attract the local cat population. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that worked, but apparently it did. It's becoming more common to have indoor cats by laws with harnesses and stuff because it's more common knowledge that they're considered invasive species. Oh, yeah. I mean, I do think it's good if we end up having less free-range outdoor cats, because it does get to be a lot of a problem. Okay, our food has been consumed, probably by that bear that was hanging around. Let's hunt again while we're here. And then we'll do some territory marking. But, yeah, it definitely... I can understand why it can be more of a challenge to keep an indoor cat in some cases, especially if it's a cat that really wants to be outside, because we've had some of our cats were like that, so especially the ones that were indoor-outdoor early on in their lives. They wanted to go back outside. But I do think it's good if the general trend moves in that direction, and hopefully that will also inspire people to become more aware of the alternatives for having an outdoor cat, of the ways that, you know, you can take them for a walk on a leash. Some cats really like that, or you can, if you can if you can afford it, you can get him a catio, or there's other alternatives. Hopefully this will push people into figuring out more alternatives as well. So, Crevice Lake be trespassing, they do indeed. And yeah, definitely, like, there's, if you're, we were fortunate when Evie showed up that we were very much in a place to, like, I was in a place where I was able to take on another cat. Oh! Yo, thank you for the resub, Nestrosh. What? Thank you. Oh my goodness, we're getting close to that goal. We're getting close to the accurate goal. But yeah, you definitely have to be careful because not every cat is going to get along with every other cat. There's some cats that just don't play nicely with others. And there's always going to be specific combinations of cats that don't get along the best. And like even my childhood cats, they tolerated each other, but they were not good friends. And Beanie was a little bit of a bully. We had to be kind of careful at times because he could be a little bit of a bully. So you have to really be careful, especially if you're taking in a stray too. You don't know if they have any health problems. You don't know if they have anything that can be transmitted to other cats, because a lot of strays do. And you just want to be mindful about that if they're going to need treatment, or especially there's some of the bigger, scarier cat diseases. You want to get them tested before you even remotely let them in contact. So like, yes, my parents did adopt this cat, but it happened long after Evie and I moved out, which was for the best, I think, because I don't know if the two of them would have gotten along very well. And, you know, he ended up being fairly healthy, but, you know, you just want to be extra careful with that. So, ooh, yeah, there's a lot of dangers for outdoor cats. It's just not, it's not safe for them. It's not safe for the environment. So I'm very, if we're moving away from the trend of letting people's cats free roam, because the other thing is, it does make it really hard to know if a cat is a genuine stray or if it's just somebody else's cat, in a lot of cases. And like, what are you gonna do if your cat just up and leaves at some point and decides they don't want to live here anymore? Because some cats will do that. And I hope that that's not what Evie did. I don't think it is. But, like, you know, I don't know. I don't really know what her situation was. We don't know what anybody's situation was. I don't think, knowing Evie, she probably would have left a place where she had a home. But some cats will just wander off if they feel like it. So, it's just, there's a lot of reasons it's not good. Yeah. Alright, let me see. You've seen a cat on YouTube that went outside just flopped over like he had to play dead. Oh my goodness. That's what some of my old kitties used to do when we put them in, when we briefly tried to harness train my childhood cats. They didn't like it. They did do just the topple. They just flopped and wouldn't move. Evie kind of did, but she took to it a lot better. In fact, Evie is actually a cat who I think I probably could travel with because she adapts to new environments really, really well. And she doesn't like the car, but she did a lot better when we had her on a harness than when we just had her in her carrier. So I think I probably could train her to go on car trips with me if I wanted to. I just need a little bit of a better setup for it. But yeah, she definitely would have to get used to it some, because we very much did have some temper tantrums along the way as well. Oh, hello? Hello? Did you think you were going to cause a problem? Did you think you're going to cause a problem? You're not. Get out. Alright, let's see. Get out. Go on. Leave. Be gone. Oh, yeah. Well, and that's the thing, too, is, like, it is hard when you have a situation. I don't entirely know, and that's why with a lot of things like this, there's layers and there's nuance, because, like, what do you do with the situation with barn cats? A lot of people use barn cats as a way to keep the mouse population down, which is probably not the best for the cats, But it's also something that historically, you know, this is a thing that's been done. That's why a lot of people kept cats. And so there's considerations to weigh with that of, is there, how do you keep barn cats in the way that's going to be best for them, for the local wildlife, and still fulfill the job of, you know, trying to keep the rodent population down? Is it better to use barn cats, or is it better to just not have barn cats at all? And like, everybody's gonna have different perspectives on that, and it's not something that I feel like I can entirely talk about, because I don't have a huge amount of that perspective. It's very similar to the conflict that you have with the wolf reintroductions, where a lot of ranchers have been very opposed to it because wolves could pose a potential threat to livestock. And so that's a viable thing that needs to be weighed. It's not the be-all, end-all, because you still have to keep in mind the ecosystem as a whole, but it's still something that's important to keep those conflicts in mind and see what the most constructive way to address them is going to be, because if this is something that's going to pose a threat to somebody's livelihood, that does need to be taken into account. And that doesn't mean that it's not something that's worth doing. Like, I wholeheartedly support the wolf reintroductions. I think it was very necessary for the ecosystem. But I don't think that means that if they do start killing somebody's livestock, you should just say, well, nope, not my problem. Like, you want to try to find a way that's going to help the people who are depending on livestock. Like, you want to be able to make it so that they're not just left by the wayside, because that's important too, is to keep the people who are involved in mind. So it gets nuanced. It definitely gets nuanced. Oh yeah, for feral cats who can't live with humans due to being stressed about humans, barn cat life is the best life for them. So yeah, so that's one possible solution that can be kind of a happier medium, is if it's a feral animal that you can still probably trap and get spayed or neutered so that they're not continuing to, you know, have a population overload. Then that's maybe a better situation where it still keeps them in a little bit of a safer environment, but it's also not everybody letting their pet cats run amok. So it's a topic with a lot of nuance, I guess, is my grand takeaway from all of this. Is a lot of these things are not super straightforward. Like with pet cats, I will advocate for keeping them indoors. I think in many cases that's more feasible. There's some where it may not be, but in probably the vast majority of cases, it's possible to keep them indoors or mostly indoors. But there's going to be cases with like semi-feral cats or barn cats or feral cats where it's not as possible. So there's always going to be multiple facets to an issue like this. So, oh my goodness. The squirrels in your neighborhood need a lesson in hubris. They're a menace. I have encountered the squirrels in your neighborhood and they frighten me. Look, one of the last times I went to Rain's house, there was a squirrel that walked out into the road, stopped down the street from me, stared down my oncoming car for about half a block, and only when I got close did he finally scamper out of the way. You're not wrong. The squirrels are kind of a menace. Oh my goodness. Oh, the geese. Yep, geese can also be that way. And, oh my goodness, you feel like there's more rabbits in your neighborhood than squirrels. Yeah, it can depend. Depending on where you are and what the ecosystem is like. I can't speak right now. But yeah, with that said, it is getting to be about that time again to wrap up. We're a little over, but we started a little late, so that's mostly all right, I think. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we'll go ahead and leave this off here for today because it is getting to be about that time again. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.